we knew tonight was going to be difficult, and because of the fact that we didn't have Sarah Edwards and Kennedy was extremely questionable, so we were happy to get 2 events out of her. Her beam routine was really good, but we were asking a lot of her. She's got a slight sprain in her elbow, and it was bound pretty tight, so it couldn't extend. But for her to go out and do what she did a beautiful Arabian in the warm-up. So we thought, okay, we've got a fighting chance here. But I tell you what, the law of holes is when you find yourself in one, quit digging. And they did. They did all they could after vaulting. They had, a couple of walk-ons in vaulting, and then Ruby was guilty of trying too hard, and you just don't want to try, because when you start trying, you start failing. And she redeemed herself, did a great job on bars and floor, and really is a great floor leader for us. But it was just too much to overcome, and I think Alabama had their sights set when they realized we didn't have our real vaulting lineup in there, and I call it blood in the water. It was kind of like a shark frenzy, they really went after it at that point, and I think it gave them a little bit of extra of confidence. But I'm very pleased with the amount of fight that I saw in this team. They fought last week, and we were in a losing effort at Florida. The fight and the consistent momentum and trying to keep this thing moving forward, and always thinking the next person is going to help us get the victory. And that's something that a lot of teams don't learn, and this team, I think, gets it, understands the fight throughout the entire competition. So disappointed with the loss, but there were some silver linings on some of those dark clouds. I have one, thanks. Oh, you want me to sign it? Huh? Yeah, we thought we would maybe be 1 or 2 tenths behind. Without Kennedy, and because we know Alabama's a good bar team, and we thought 1 or 2 tenths behind. We didn't think we would have to count one or both of the walk-on scores, but it happened that we did, and we just moved forward from there. That Ruby's here now, but she did probably a lifetime best vault last week at Florida, and just lifetime less tonight. But. We thought it'd be a tenth or 2, and we go to bars, and we could make that up because we felt like our bars were that good. We missed last handstands on bars, which was affecting our scores dramatically in that event. But yeah. I mean, every time they're at this angle on that bar, that's a whole tenth. If they're just a little bit close to the handstand, that's a half a tenth. You can take a half a tenth, but losing a whole tenth and then maybe not sticking a dismount is costly. And that's what happened to us tonight. The kids came to the second event, got a little bit tight, and just hitting was their goal instead of good execution. But we have 3 more home meets, I think, 3 more home meets, and some opportunities on the road. And as the kids that are out of the lineup get better, then we know our scoring potential because we saw what we did last week. Yeah. That should not have been there. That was, I think, the best beam routine of the night, and the explanation that I got was not acceptable. But I have to accept it and not say anything. So water's wet, rocks are hard, and we move on. Yeah. So the explanation was. It was not satisfactory to me that she had a break between her front aerial and her caisson, her leap, which she did. She kind of broke her rhythm in that connection, but she didn't need it to have bonus. She's got enough bonus in the routine. So I put in an inquiry, the explanation, and the meet referee came back and she said, you're not going to be happy with this explanation. So, it is what it is, and, we get it next time and make the connection better. Not at that point. I think the kids were excited about the fact that Beam was a good rotation for us. They did really well. We were questioning about Kennedy, and she got in there and did a super job for us. So Beam was, I thought, a very good rotation for us. Especially, the kids find it harder to compete at home, and then you got your baseball coach sitting there and the governor, and we love it when they come. It adds to the excitement and adds to the pizzazz of our events. But no, it was a bad judgment, and we move on. Happened yesterday, I think in her first vault in the inner squad. And she kind of jammed her elbow and kind of tweaked her elbow a little bit, and she's got a bit of a sore elbow from time to time. So it's just a sprain, and we'll have to play that out. But she proved tonight that she's got a lot of guts. She probably didn't need it, but it secures her from overextending the injury that she has deep in her hip. Probably by next week she won't need it. So it was just a precaution, and yeah, it was great to see her out there. She started us off. It took the pressure off of Bridget. Bridget doesn't like to go first. Christina likes to go first, and that's a tough place to be. I mean, Ruby goes first on floor and last on bars. I don't know, where's the most pressure? But some kids really like going first. Kennedy loves going last on floor, and we made that switch tonight. And thinking if it was a close meet and we didn't need Kennedy to do floor, and like we did with Sarah Edwards a couple times last year, but it didn't work that way. We needed her to go out there and see if she could get us another 9-9.
No, of course not. I mean, the PMAC always brings so much energy, and we really do love being in the PMAC. Like, before everyone's voted today, it's so loud in there, you physically can't hear yourself think, and it's so cool to see the camaraderie that the fans bring. And honestly, I don't really know an explanation for, why this season so far has been a little bit rough. It just seems to be the characteristic of this team. And, I mean, it's not something that we want to continue. We really want to produce the scores, and we showed that last week that we are capable of doing the bigger and better things. I mean, it's nothing more you can ask of the team in the gym. Everyone's working hard, doing what they need to do, eating, sleeping right. But for some reason, when we come in here, it just doesn't all fall into place. And it's something that we really, really need to work on.
But it will next time.
Yeah, and it will. And whether it's a mindset change, we just need to figure that out, and we've yet to kind of figure that out. So hopefully we can change, we say this every week, but hopefully we can flip a switch and it will play.
You need a little over first with more routine in the season. I know that's just something you all do this week.
Yeah, it's a great bar routine, and she is a great elite athlete, and just getting her confidence back and knowing that she can hit a routine and can compete, and that's what tonight was about for her. You see that routine, and she sticks a dismount, and all of a sudden it's a 9-9. So, I mean, there's a lot in that routine. Every skill connects and gives bonus to the next skill. So it's going to be greater later. It's going to be a really, really good routine, and she does the same kind of stuff on beam. She's going to give us that same look on beam, and we're beginning to work her. We're going to start her floor routine this weekend. She started vaulting last week with Bob. So there's a lot of good gymnastics right there, but we have to go slow.
Yeah, I love doing my routine in the PMAC. There's, like Ruby said, there's so much energy. The fans are excited and into it. So during that routine, I just try to do my tumbling like normal and perform to the fans.
We thought it was a 10.
Thanks.
Yeah.